quick housekeeping item. I told everybody this individually, but to reiterate, you all have depth charts in front of you as a reminder. We're waiting on Colgate to make that exchange between 12 and 1 o'clock. I will alert everybody once that happens. After that, you are free to do as you please in terms of writing things off of it. We're going to start with a brief opening statement, and then after that, Coach is going to take questions. Just raise your hand. We'll come around the room. Coach?
We're excited to get started this season. We're excited to find out exactly where we are. I know a lot of people talk about the grind of one-a-days. With me, I never believed in that being a grind. I've always believed in it being a find. Okay, you get to find out where you're at. We're going to get an opportunity to test ourselves versus Colgate University. Coach DaCosta will have those guys ready. There's no doubt about it. And we're looking forward to getting back in the dome in front of our fans, seeing how crazy they can be this year, because we definitely need our 12th man if we're going to be able to get the things done that we want to get accomplished this year. One thing I want to get out to the media before we get started with questions is, as a team, we did go back and, how do I say this, voted for our second set of captains. For special teams, our second captain, along with Justin Barron, will be Brady Denenberg. With Marlo Wax on defense, our second captain will be Isaiah Johnson. And on offense, with Garrett Schrader, our second captain will be Damian Alford. So with that, I will close and open it up for questions.
Questions? Emily, we'll start with you.
I believe we said depth chart questions are okay.
Yeah, don't go line by line. If you got a specific question, that's fine.
Yeah, I think the biggest name I'm not seeing on here is Trevor Pena. Is that injury related, something else?
Trevor's had a little owie, and we're not sure he's going to be available for us or not.
For like just the game?
Just the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Jabari Reed, it looks like won the starting center position. Just what did you see out of him that kind of pushed him over the edge there?
I would say that he's going out there first. I think the competition is extremely close through both of them. I expect them both to play.
Tommy?
Coach, what do you think of the opportunity this now presents for Donovan Brown to make a mark?
Didn't hear the last part, Tommy. Your voice dropped a little bit on me. Sorry.
Donovan Brown, his chance to kind of take a start here this game against Colgate.
You know, I think anytime that you get an opportunity to Wally Pipp somebody, you know, it's an opportunity that you need to take advantage of. And we think the world of Trevor. We know that he's an exciting player, and when he's completely healthy, he's going to help us win games. But for someone else to get an opportunity to show what they can do can be exciting, so we're looking forward to it.
All right.
How have you seen a guy like Quint step into that starting role this year after falling under Sean Tucker?
He's very young, but on the football field, on the practice football field, on the game field, he's very mature. He plays with a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, yet he plays very clear. He does not make a lot of mistakes for someone as young as he is. So we're looking forward to see how he does this year. And along with the other running backs, I don't think it's going to be the way it was with Sean Tucker for 2 years. But I do think that we have a good group, and I think that LaQuinn is one of the members of that group.
Chris?
Do you expect Kalen Ellis to be healthy enough to play against Colgate?
We're going to have to see about that. He's got an owie. He's still available, but I'm not sure whether he's going to start or not.
And then what went into the decisions for Joe Moore and Dave Wollebot to sort of be the right side of your line?
Well, I think the biggest thing is they made it through camp. Like I said, there's some guys that are out and in. We were going to mix those guys up so we have some flexibility throughout the season as guys go out and in on that offensive line. And they were at practice every day. So the ones that are at practice every day normally get better.
What have you seen from new cornerbacks coach Travis Fisher, and how did you decide on that hire?
Well, first of all, we're always trying to better ourselves. You know, we're always disappointed when someone leaves, and we're excited for their new opportunities. But one of the goals that I've always had as a coach is when you lose a member, how can you make your family better? You know, you're not trying to stay the same. You're not crying over spilled milk. How can you make it better? And we think that with Coach Fisher's NFL experience and the way he handles his players on the football field, along with his ability to recruit excellent athletes to universities, not only athletes on the football field, but fine academic people as well, we thought he'd be a good addition for us.
On the coaching note, how has the transition from Jason Beck being quarterback's coach to being that main voice in the offense been throughout the entire
I think the transition's been smooth. You know, he's a different personality than Coach Robert and I, but the guys really have taken into him, and I think they've opened up to him, and I think they're really excited to go to work for him and see what they can do.
Coach, looking at the secondary, a lot of moving pieces in the offseason. How has this new unit adjusted to all the changes, and how confident are you in them week one?
Well, first of all, we're going to find out. We're going to find out how they adjust on Saturday, and we're going to see, based off the results, I'll tell you how confident I'm going to be in them. You know, these games are dangerous games. I've been on the other end of these football games. I've been 21-point dogs, and we've beat the team by 21. It's one of those things where the kids are excited, you guys are excited. I'm sitting here, I'm not excited at all. I'm worried. And you're talking about an opponent that's very close to us, have a lot of common knowledge. I'm sure they know more about us than they've known about many teams. And, you know, we're going to play the game, and hopefully we're going to be okay. But it's not a game that I go sleep easy on the night before. These games really bother me.
I guess on top of that, just how do you, as a team that's supposed to be heavily favored, like, and to a lot of people are supposed to be a team like Colgate, how do you prepare your players to go against a team that?
You know, you get them to focus on themselves, to focus on us. And, you know, we know what our standards are. We know what our standards need to be for us to compete at the highest level. And if we meet those standards, we're going to be okay. The issue when you play teams like this is that guys think it's going to be easy, and it's not going to be easy. Guys think that they eat food differently than you, and they don't. Like they don't lift weights, like they can't make tackles, like they can't catch balls. And every time you step on the football field, you can get hurt. And you need to be locked in. You need to stay focused so those things don't happen to you.
Coach, first off, excellent shirt choice today.
Mahalo for your cuckoo.
Second off, what's Garrett Schrader's status going into this game? You know, is he going to have any kind of a soft snap count as he's still getting eased back from the shoulder injury?
Nope, all that stuff is done with. It's time to play football, and he'll be ready.
Emily, then Mario.
Kind of following up on that, so is the plan to play Garrett for the full game? Like, is that something he's ready for and you guys are planning on?
Well, if we're playing him for the full game, that's what I'm talking about. It's not gonna be great for me. We would like to think that we don't have to play him for the full game, but we're gonna play to win.
Would it be ideal for where he's at health-wise for him to not play the whole game?
We will play the game to win.
Mario.
I'm going to follow up with Don on his health-wise. Not too many times you have a 3-year starter at quarterback, and you have that with Garrett. How can you rely on that maturity under center with him?
Well, I'm not quite sure what you're saying, so ask it one more time, please, Mario.
Garrett's a 3-year starter. Not too many universities have 3-year starters at quarterback. How can you rely on that maturity of him to guide this offense this year, even though Jason Beckett is new as the OC?
I think that you're talking about a guy that's been a captain for 2 years, a guy that the team has completely followed. And I think he's shown how courageous he is on a football field. I think that we can feel relaxed that he's our quarterback for his 3rd year, and I think we can be relaxed that he will lead this team the right way with a bunch of maturity.
Chris.
With Garrett, is he throwing the ball as well as he did last year at this point?
I think so.
And do you feel confident that he can sort of make every throw, you know, arm strength wise, that he has to over the course of the year?
I believe so.
Well, here.
Coach Favors, your first game, last time you guys played Colgate was back in 2016, your first game as Syracuse head coach. Do you have any fond memories of the last time you guys played Colgate?
I cannot get past the COVID blockage in my mind. There's life before COVID and life after COVID. So, no, I really can't remember back to 2016. I know we won 4 games, so I know that was one of them. And then I believe we beat Virginia Tech. So that was good, but I can't remember a lot of that stuff back in 2016. I'm kind of focused on 2023.
Mario.
How has this defense changed under Rocky Long, if anything?
I think the biggest thing, once again, is you guys are going to see game adjustments more than anything. And I think that as fast as we get to him, as fast as he makes changes, he's a library of knowledge. And I think that's going to be the biggest difference, is what we do in games when we find out exactly what people are doing to get an opportunity to try to stop them.
What went
I see Stephon playing a lot. Right now, Leon is playing better, and that's why he's in front. But I don't think we've heard the last from Stephon, and I'm looking forward to seeing him unleash and show people exactly what he can do again.
With Garrett, you mentioned you would prefer to not have to play the full game. If everything goes the way you want on Saturday, is there like an amount of time that you want your starters to play? Is it a half?
Again, I think you have to play that by ear. I don't think it's not mathematical like that. We've got to see how the game goes, and we're trying to play as many people as we can because in our football team and the way we go about in the ACC, we don't get a lot of games where we can play a lot of people. And you want to play people early to make sure when games 4, 5, 6, 7 comes along that you're playing the right people and you're practicing the right people and not find out that you're wrong in a game. You'd like to find out in practice. If you can't find out in practice, you'd like to find out and see what they do in games. So we're going to try to play as many people as we can, but you always play the game to win to start off.
Tommy?
Coach, you mentioned last week that you were excited for the kicking game, and if I had this right, you said that there was one guy that was more like deadly from shorter range and one guy that can hit the long ball. Can you tell us which one's Brady, the other, I'm guessing, is Jaden?
You got me wrong. You got me mixed up with the other team, brother. No, I didn't say anything like that. I didn't say anything like that. I think our punter is good, and I think our place kicker is good. Obviously, the team thinks he's good. For him to get voted a captain as a sophomore is a major, major deal here, and I told him as such, and hopefully everyone else will get to see the confidence that this team has in him in the Dome on Saturday.
Going into Colgate, what's the kind of game plan against that two-headed rushing attack they have?
Hopefully to find a way to stop the run and then not let them throw deep balls over our head. I mean, that quarterback is really good. Their system is really good. They remind me of a style of offense that I've seen before, and I'm sure they're going to be pulling out all the stops. So as that quarterback goes, they go. They got an experienced offensive line, tailback that's talented, slot wide receiver that can make plays. So they've got all the ingredients. It's just hopefully they're not cooking against us if they start cooking down the road. But this is a quality team with a lot of experience coming back.
And you talked a little bit about Rocky Long and his in-game adjustments. How do you feel like he's going to be able to get the best out of guys like Justin Barron who are, kind of moving all around the field?
He has his way of dealing with individuals. He's had a lot of experience dealing with people over a long period of time because he's been around a while. And I think that the young men have gravitated to him, and I think they're excited to play for him.
Chris?
When did you sort of realize that Kevon Darton could do the job in the middle at his size?
Results. He plays like a guy that's not really tall with a chip on his shoulder that he's never got to be that tall, and he's going to prove to all tall guys that short guys can play too.
Did you see it on film? Did you have to see it in person to believe it?
You have to see it in person to believe it. You don't believe it on tape, but when you get in person, you'll believe it.
Dino, you mentioned, or to go back to the captains, just how excited are you to see that group of guys, be the voice of the team this year?
It's a quality group, and the teams that go really far are teams that are player-led, not coaches-led, and those guys are leaders, and everything that they've done on and off the field since the end of the 2022 bowl game has been exactly that. And I think the team did a fine job of picking out people that maybe aren't the most popular, but definitely the ones that if there was definitely the people that you want to follow.
Is there anyone in particular that you're excited about the most being captain?
I like all 6.
Coach, you mentioned in your opening statement how important that 12th man is. It's the second straight year you started the season off at home. What does that mean to this locker room, and how does that impact this team as opposed to starting on the road?
I think the biggest thing is there's so many new individuals that haven't been in the Dome. We're in the Dome for the first time, and those guys are taking pictures and stuff. And I'm like, we're at practice. What are you guys doing? I mean, they hadn't been in there. So for them to go into the venue and get an opportunity to see it filled up and see what kind of home field advantage we actually have, I think it's going to motivate especially those new guys that, There is no place like Dome.
Mario, then Emily?
Coach, going back to Jason Beck, is he a guy that will coach on the field as the OC, and do you see yourself as more of a hands-on within the first couple of games, or it's kind of take the wheels off and let him go?
He's going to be up in the box, calling the plays from up in the box, and he did fine in the bowl game. I'm sure he'll do fine in these games as well.
Talked a lot about like the in-game adjustments is where we're going to see Beck and Long shine, and I'm curious for Beck if there's a moment from last season as quarterbacks coach where he made an in-game adjustment that you were really proud of, or that kind of signified what he can do.
Again, I go back to the bowl game. Coach Beck called the bowl game. I thought he did a fantastic job in the bowl game. I thought his anticipation of when to go to something was satisfactory on my part. So to me, that just cemented the deal on how well he performed in the bowl game. There were some plays that were not executed correctly, but the timing of the calls I thought were right on. And I'm looking forward to seeing if he still has some of that timing left. That's 10 push-ups, Herm. Not allowed to do that in these meetings. Go ahead.
Take a few more seconds, Mario.
Coach, I'm going to step away from this aspect of things, and I understand you're focused on a football game. Do you, as a football coach, would you like the additions of a Stanford, Cal, and SMU into your conference?
We won't even talk about that stuff. That's way above me. Whatever the conference decides, that's great. I'm locked in on Colgate and totally on Colgate.
What's the word on just Terry Lockett? Is he going to get any time this week?
You said Terry Lockett? Yeah, absolutely.
Last question, if anybody's got it? Good? See everybody tomorrow for player requests. Thanks, Coach.
See you guys. Thank you.